Hello everyone, welcome to Officers Adda 24/7. My name is Soumya Prakash and today we are again taking another episode of 3000 plus questions where we are bringing you 3000 plus questions for your practice for your JAIIB exams. These are some of the important questions and you can use it for practicing, and you'll have to study first because otherwise you will find it difficult to answer the questions, and these answers are not sufficient to qualify your exam. These questions will not be sufficient. So this is a disclaimer that we have always been giving, that this is not sufficient because questions can be asked in different ways and you need to understand the whole concept as well as you should be thorough with your studies. So let's start today's session, and we will take up the first question now. So the first question is, Jagdish Bhagwati categorizes India's economic failure into three categories. Which of the following does not belong to these categories? And the options are: option is strong bureaucratic control over production, investment and trade, inward-looking trade and foreign investment policies, lack of industrial growth and investment in efficient public sector enterprise functioning. So what will be the right answer for this particular question? Jagdish Bhagwati categorizes India's economic failure into three categories. Which of the following does not belong to these categories? So this question, this particular problem, what is being talked here is about the economic crisis that the India was facing in the 1980s. And so in from 1991 onwards, the changes started, economic reforms started to happen. And what were the problems with Jagdish Bhagwati categorized as failure, economic failure? So what will be the answer? Strong bureaucratic control over production, investment and trade, inward-looking trade, foreign investment policies, lack of industrial growth and investment, inefficient public sector enterprise functioning. So what will be the right answer for this particular question? So right answer would be lack of industrial growth and investment. Lack of industrial growth and investment, these were the economic failure according to Jagdish Bhagwati, that there was strong bureaucratic control, there was inward looking trade and foreign investment and inefficient public sector. And as you know that in 1991 India came with new economic policy to solve these problems. New economic policy. And what were the three pillars on which this was built upon? So new economic policy was based on three pillars, which was liberalization, privatization and globalization. So what was the answer for this particular, this was a problem, this was a economic failure, inefficient public sector enterprise. So India came with the solution of privatization. Then the problem was strong bureaucratic control over production, investment. What the solution was? Liberalization. And what was the solution for inward looking trade and foreign investment policy? And the solution was globalization. So if you remember the solutions, you can know what the problem was, right? So right answer is lack of industrial growth and investment. Which of the following describe economic crisis of 1990? High fiscal deficit, high inflation rate, high population, adverse balance of payment situation. So the options are 1, 2 and 3, which is high fiscal deficit, high inflation rate and high population. Option B is 2, 3 and 4, high inflation rate, high population, adverse balance of payment situation. Option C is 1, 2 and 4, which is high fiscal deficit, high inflation rate and adverse balance of payment. And the fourth option is all of the above. So what will describe economic crisis of 1990? And what will be the right answer? And the hint in this particular question is we are talking about economic crisis. So that is the hint you have to pick up while solving paper in your exam. We are talking about economic crisis. So when we are talking about an economic crisis, what the problems were? High inflation, fiscal deficit, high inflation rate and adverse balance of payment situation. Fiscal deficit is where government expenditure is more than government revenue. Inflation rate is the inflation, there is increase in prices of goods, and because of that lower middle class or lower class, they were not able to fulfill their basic requirements. And what is adverse balance of payment is? Adverse balance of payment is that we are importing more than we are exporting. So in that case, we'll have to take loan from foreign institutions. If we are not generating income from our own country, then we'll be dependent on institutions like banks. Like if you are not able to fulfill the whatever requirement is of your home, what you will do is that we will go to the bank for taking the loan. Similarly, India was taking loan from institutions like World Bank and IMF, and that is why the economic crisis of 1991 had to be solved. So right answer here is 1, 2 and 4. Answer is C. Which among the following is not an instrument used by Indian corporate sector to assess fund from international capital markets? And these are the options: ADRs, GDRs, FCCBs, IPO. Which is not an instrument used by Indian corporate sector to assess fund from international capital markets? What will be the answer? What will be the answer? Is it ADR, GDR, FCCB, IPO? If a company here in India, Indian corporate sector, wants to raise money from outside India, then what are the ways they have? So the right answer here is IPO, because through IPO they can raise money in India. It is initial public offer. When a company gets registered on exchange, then it goes public and Indian public investors can invest in that particular company, and that is through IPO. But for foreign investment, they can take the route of ADR, GDR or FCCBs. Which of the following is a FDI prohibited sector? We have studied that FDI is foreign direct investment. So what will be the prohibited sector? Asset reconstruction companies, pension sector, defense manufacturing or real estate business. What will be the right answer? In which of the following FDI is prohibited? Asset reconstruction company, pension sector, defense manufacturing, real estate business. FDI is not allowed. And the right answer for this particular question is real estate business. In all other cases, FDI is allowed. And we have, as we have studied there, that FDI, there are limits that how much percentage can be invested, and there are also routes, automatic and government route. Through those routes, the company can come and invest. Which of the following are companies based outside India that offer investment proposals in India? So which of these are companies based outside India that offer investment proposal in India? Is it FII, FDI, FPI, or none of these? As we have seen, what is FII? It is foreign institutional investors. FDI is foreign direct investment. FPI is foreign portfolio investments. So, if you know the full form also, then also you can guess the answer. What is the answer? What will be the answer? So, the right answer for this particular question will be FII. That is a institutional investors. We are talking about institutional investors, and that can be companies. So, FII is the right answer. Which of the following is not an indicator of economic development? HDI, PCI, HPI, GDI. Which of the following is not an indicator of economic development? What will be the right answer? Is it HDI, PCI, HPI, or GDI? And right answer is PCI. What is PCI? It is per capita income. That is an indicator of economic growth and not economic development. Rest all are the indicators of economic development. So, what is economic growth? Economic growth refers to increment amount of goods and services produced in economy. When there is increase in production of goods and services in the economy, then we call it economic growth. And what is economic development? Economic development means that there is reduction or elimination of poverty, unemployment and inequality with the context of growing economy. So, why these are two different things? Economic growth simply means that the production is increasing, goods and services are being produced more, but that will not, this doesn't mean that unemployment will get reduced, this doesn't mean that poverty will get reduced, and this doesn't mean that inequality will get reduced. The production can increase by a very small percentage of population and they will be taking the whole benefit. So, when there is overall development for the economy, that will be known as economic development, and where there is increase in production or services, then it will be called as economic growth. And what are the indicators for economic growth? GDP, GNI, per capita income. GDP we all know is gross domestic product, per capita income, national income. If these are increasing, then it is indicator of economic growth. And indicators for economic development are human development index, human poverty index, Gini coefficient, gender development index, balance of trade, physical quality of life index, PQLI. Which of the following is known as hot money? FII, FDI, FPI, none of these. We have seen what is a FII, FDI, FPI in our previous questions. We have already seen that what these are. FII is foreign institutional investors, FDI foreign direct investments, and FPI is foreign portfolio investments. So, what will, which of these is called hot money, or none of these is hot money? Right answer for this particular question is foreign institutional investment is called hot money. What is the FDI limit in case of banking public sector? 100%, 74%, 49% or 20%. What is the limit in case of banking public sector? FDI limit in banking public sector. Is it 100%, 74%, 49% or 20%? What is the FDI limit in case of banking public sector? 100%, 74%, 49%, 20%. What is the FDI limit in case of? So the right answer here is 20%. Only 20% is allowed in case of public sector, banking public sector. Which of the following is not a type of FDI? Greenfield FDI, whitefield FDI, brownfield FDI, joint venture. Which of the following is not a type of FDI? FDI is foreign direct investment. We have studied about the types of FDI, and which of these is not a type of FDI? Greenfield FDI, whitefield FDI, brownfield FDI or joint venture? What will be the answer for this particular question? Right answer for this particular question is whitefield FDI. Rest of rest of the options are type of FDI. So greenfield FDI, it is a sort of investment in which a parent corporation establishes a subsidiary in the destination country. It builds operations from the scratch. They will start from the scratch and they will establish their subsidiary in the destination country. And examples are like McDonald's, Hyundai India, Pepsi India are examples of greenfield FDI. In brownfield FDI, a parent investor, multinational corporation, buy stock in an established firm. They will just buy the stock of an established firm in the host country. For example, Daiichi Sankyo of Japan acquired Ranbaxy India. In joint ventures, based on agreement, a foreign company and a local company join up to share investment, technology, profit and so on. And example is Hero Honda. So whitefield is not a type of FDI. Greenfield, brownfield and joint venture are type of FDI. Niryat Bandhu scheme has been galvanized and repositioned to achieve the objective of Make in India, Skill India, Startup India or none of the above. So what is Niryat Bandhu scheme related to? What is the objective of Niryat Bandhu scheme? Is it Make in India, Skill India, Startup India or none of the above? And the right answer is, so Niryat Bandhu scheme is related to Skill India. So this is it for today, and only around 20 days are left and your exams are starting. You have to start your preparation, and this is just for 1.5 months. If you will work hard, you can clear your JAIIB exams. And always remember that JAIIB is an exam for which bank will be will incentivize you throughout your career, because you are getting increment in your salary, which will impact your PF and DA, and that is why it is very important that you should complete your JIB, and for that you can choose us as your learning partner. And for registering for our courses, you can go to our Adda site and you can download the app. If you have still not downloaded, download the app from Google Play or Apple Store. Then you have to go to all courses. In all courses, you will go to JIB CAIIB, JIB October 2024. These are the courses which we are offering, crash courses available in both the languages, English as well as Hindi, and in JAIIB Mahapack, you are getting double validity, and there is month end sale is also going, where you will get discount on the crash courses. So wishing you all the best for your preparation and for your exam.